Today, we are diving into a true masterpiece of modern cinema, Pedro Almodóvar's 1999 film, All About My Mother. I mean, this is a film that didn't just win an Oscar, it completely rewrote the rules of melodrama. It's this incredible story all about grief, identity, and most importantly, the families we end up choosing for ourselves.
And the film kicks off with this incredibly powerful dedication. And, it's not just some sweet opening note. It's basically the entire movie's DNA, right there on the screen. Almodóvar is telling us exactly what we're about to see. A story about performance, about gender, and this really beautiful, expansive idea of what it means to be a mother. All right, so let's get into the first act, a tragic performance, where life starts to imitate art in Madrid. This is where Almodóvar immediately starts playing with this idea of what's real and what's just a performance, and it sets up a tragedy that's just absolutely heart-wrenching.
So here we are. This is our protagonist, Manuela, and her son, Esteban. She's a single mom, a really dedicated nurse. And for Esteban, it's his 17th birthday. He dreams of being a writer, and he's got this one big question that's just eating at him. Who was his father? It's a part of her past that Manuela has kept completely under wraps. And right out of the gate, Almodóvar creates this really powerful tension between two different worlds. You've got Manuela's life side. She's a transplant coordinator, so she's literally dealing with life and death every single day. But then you've got the art side. Here they are, watching the classic film All About Eve, a movie all about theater, identity, and the roles people play. And believe me, that's no accident. And then you get this scene. It is just chillingly brilliant foreshadowing. As part of a training video for work, Manuela has to role-play as a grieving mother who's just been asked to donate her son's organs. She is literally performing the exact unthinkable tragedy that is about to completely shatter her own life. So that same night, they go see a play to celebrate his birthday. Afterwards, Esteban sees the lead actress and runs out into the pouring rain to get her autograph, and he's hit by a car. And just like that, the performance is over. The role-playing is done. Manuela is now in a real hospital, hearing the same horrific news she was just pretending to hear. Art and life just collided in the most brutal, devastating way imaginable.
And this is where the story pivots. We move into the next section, Barcelona's chosen family, a new stage. Completely shattered by grief, Manuela leaves Madrid and heads to Barcelona. She tells herself she's going to find her son's father, but what she ends up finding is something totally different. A new stage for her life and a completely new kind of family.
Almodóvar shows her journey from Madrid to Barcelona with this shot of a train just plunging into a dark tunnel. And it's such a perfect metaphor, right? She's literally going back into the darkness of a past she ran away from years ago. Because the whole reason she's going is to find Lola, Esteban's father, who is a trans woman.
So once she's in Barcelona, Manuela's world just opens up. She finds her old friend Agrado, who is this wonderfully warm, loyal trans woman. Then, through this crazy twist of fate, she ends up meeting Huma Rojo. Yep, the same actress her son admired. And she also becomes close with Sister Rosa, a really sweet, compassionate young nun. This group, they couldn't be more different, but they start to form this incredible, unlikely little circle of support.
And this right here, this is the heart of the movie's second act. It's this beautiful idea of a chosen family. We're talking about a group of people who aren't connected by blood, but by choice, by love, by just showing up for each other. And you have to remember the context. This is post-Franco Spain, a place that was still super traditional and Catholic. So this idea wasn't just progressive, it was absolutely revolutionary. Almodóvar is basically saying that family isn't about biology. It's about love. It's about choosing to care. And this whole philosophy is summed up perfectly by Agrado in what is probably one of the most famous lines from the film. She says, "You are more authentic the more you resemble what you've dreamed of being." I mean, wow. It's this idea that being your true self isn't about what you were born as. It's about having the courage to become the person you were always meant to be. And we get to see this idea in action in this absolutely brilliant scene. The play gets canceled, the stage is empty, so Agrado just walks out into the spotlight. She doesn't act, she doesn't sing, she just talks. She tells the audience her life story, and she proudly lists every single cosmetic procedure she's ever had done, right down to the price. Her body, her identity, it's her masterpiece. And in that moment, she is the most authentic person in the room. So as this new family really starts to come together, all the different storylines begin to weave into one another. This brings us to our next section, Life, Death, and Lola, Cycles of Grief and Rebirth. This is where the film tackles some really heavy stuff, like the AIDS crisis, but also ends up finding this incredible sense of hope. And then comes another huge plot twist. The sweet, innocent sister Rosa tells Manuela that she's pregnant. And the father? It's Lola. The same Lola Manuela has been looking for this whole time. But then comes the really devastating part. Rosa is also HIV positive, having contracted it from Lola. And with that, the film looks the AIDS crisis of the era right in the eye.
Of course, this little community of women immediately rallies around Rosa to support her. But tragedy strikes yet again. Shortly after giving birth, Sister Rosa passes away, leaving her baby behind. And so, this chosen family, which was first built on solidarity, now finds itself bound together by a shared, profound grief.
But out of that tragedy comes this really powerful moment of rebirth. Manuela, who started this whole journey by losing her son, now becomes a mother all over again. She adopts Rosa's baby, and she names him Esteban. Her story has come completely full circle. It's just this beautiful, heartbreaking statement on resilience and how even in the face of the worst possible loss, new life and new hope can begin.
Okay, you just can't talk about this film without talking about the director's incredible style. So let's dig into the Almodóvar touch. We're going to look at how he uses things like color, framing, and tone to make this story hit so hard.
First off, Almodóvar is an absolute master of color. I mean, his films are just soaked in these saturated, symbolic hues. Take a look at that vibrant red you see everywhere, Manuela's coat, the theater, the blood. It stands for everything, passion, life, love, but also danger and death. And he often puts that red right up against these deep, moody blues, which just adds to this theatrical, almost dreamlike feeling of the whole movie.
His camera work is also so specific, so deliberate. A lot of his shots feel like you're watching a play. I mean, look at these shots of Esteban, where he's framed behind these bars. That's not just a cool-looking shot, it's showing us how he feels, you know? Trapped. It really gets at that idea that these characters are always kind of on display, blurring that line between who they are in private and the roles they play in public. And all of this, the color, the framing, it all feeds into his very unique brand of melodrama. It kind of breaks down into 3 steps. First, you've got the high emotion. He just pushes feelings like love and grief as far as they can possibly go. Second, you have these spectacular coincidences, plot twists that feel almost like fate. But here's the absolute key, the sincere delivery. He plays it all completely straight. There's no irony, no winking at the camera, and that's what makes it so brilliant. See, old-school melodramas usually punished characters for breaking society's rules. Almodóvar takes that same over-the-top emotional style and uses it to celebrate them. It's this radical, beautiful kind of melodrama where the outsiders win.
So when you put it all together, what do you get? All About My Mother uses all this high drama and theatrical flair to say something incredibly real and true about life. It's this powerful, beautiful celebration of human resilience and the courage it takes to build your own identity and your own family, no matter what. Which leaves us with this final question to think about. By blending this high drama with such deep sincerity, how does this film totally redefine what it means to be a woman, a mother, and a family? Maybe, as Grotto suggests, authenticity isn't about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself.